today. Got some weather in the area. Got a E175 inbound from Air Canada Jazz. The guys are having a great start to your week. Saturday looks like the nicer day.
2715, descend to maintain 7,000.
Sunday looks like it might rain, so.
Yeah.
It's Dayton, you gotta cook. Got a Embraer Praetor inbound from FlexJet, and then United 2476 out of Denver, American Eagle 5862 out of Philly, and Aer Lingus out of Dublin. A lot of inbound flights right now. Mikey's here, hope you're doing well. Trying to figure out why I set this thing up so high. It's a warm, sticky day here in Cleveland. It looks like it's going to get warmer throughout the rest of the week. May even touch 90 by the end of the week. I get this thing adjusted. I set it up really high for some reason. Hope you're having a great start to your week. Good news is we're only a couple of weeks away from the 4th of July, so hopefully everyone's able to get off work and enjoy some time with your family and friends. And we're kicking off Air Show season 2026 this weekend with the Dayton Air Show. Looking forward to being down there. Fortunately, Dayton had a number of cancellations over the last week. The non-demo team fighters, the F-15 and F-16, ended up dropping. The F-35 dropped as well. We kind of knew the F-35 with the Navy demo teams being shut down. But should still be a really fun show. So looking forward to being down in Dayton this weekend, and then Columbus next weekend. The stars of the Columbus Air Show, the Canadian Snowbirds, they made a fuel stop in Mansfield today. I was sitting in my office at work about a half hour from there going, man, I wish I was out there, but should see the Snowbirds next weekend. Single runway ops today, all departures and arrivals on runway 24 right. United 737 MAX sitting over there waiting to get their clearance to head out. American Eagle 5862 ERJ145 out of Philadelphia on final. The high net is Aer Lingus 9 Alpha Romeo A321neo. Frontier 2715 and A321 out of Fort Myers. And then another Frontier, Flight 3232, 321neo out of Las Vegas. So we got a handful of aircraft on approach here. Later on today, we should have UPS and FedEx here tonight.
The updated expected update by 23:30, so in about an hour.
Got a ground stop in Chicago. I haven't looked to see if anything's circling. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. We do have a lot of weather in the area today. Expecting a lot of storms on Thursday as well. So hopefully the weather holds for the Dayton Air Show this weekend. Planning on going Saturday. That looks to be the nicer day. If you're interested in going to the Dayton Air Show, they have a really good deal right now. It's called the America 250 bundle. It's both days for 50. I think it's $55 for both days. So that's one price of $55 total for both days, and that includes your parking. So pretty good deal, to be honest, if you're thinking about going to that air show.
1673 going.
Significantly cheaper than Columbus the following weekend, but
41. Apparently they just went into a ground stop. They're now into the estimated update time now is 23:30.
it's in Chicago.
So I just wondering what you want to do. I told the flight attendant to come in early.
So I need to take a look at the weather in Chicago as well, watching some of the aircraft as they come in.
I'm not showing a ground stop for Chicago. So hold on.
Some weather actually in the Detroit area right now as well.
I know, and we're looking at.
I don't see really any weather in Chicago. I'm not sure, maybe it's due to capacity. I'm not really sure why they're in a ground stop, but guess we'll find out.
Alright, let me try to see what's going on, and I'll get right back to you. Copy.
It's been a few days since I've been able to go to the airport. Last time I went, well, last time I streamed was, I think, early last week. Thursday I was down in Columbus to get the, what we thought was going to be Air Force 2. It turned out to be Jenna 2, the Department of Defense's secretive 757. So that was a pretty cool catch. And I came up here Friday night to catch the Brazil national team. But my wife was still at work, so I still had a little one, and so I couldn't do a live stream with him running around, so we just did a regular video. I would need a leash if I wanted to do a live stream with him. Frontier on final. Trying to take a look, see if anything. Actually, there's a whole bunch of stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff circling for Detroit right now. So we may see some diversions. FedEx is actually circling as well. So we may see some diversions out of Detroit. UPS is circling. Aero Mexico is circling. That'd be one heck of a catch. There's some weather in the Detroit area, maybe. Maybe we'll see something come in.
Contact 3 miles west of county, off higher on course for Detroit Lake. Got traffic just north of position Airbus. It's
Dayton will have the Blue Angels and the F-22 there, and Tora. Those are probably the highlights of that show. Columbus will have the Thunderbirds and the Canadian Snowbirds, so two jet demo teams. And it does sound like the F-4, they've got the F-4 flying. We'll see if it's able to come in or not. I'm not expecting it to, even though they're talking about that's the plan. Hopefully the F-4 is able to come in. I'm gonna go back and look at the flights that are circling. So what's circling right now? A couple of Frontiers in there. I would love that Aero Mexico. So bear with me for a second, just kind of seeing what all is out there. We did just let an A330 take off, so we won't see that one. A couple of Delta 757s out there. It's like WestJet is heading back to Halifax.
miles from Berkeley, being 4,000.
Oh, that one actually is heading back to Halifax anyways. Ha. But yeah, we got a handful of stuff circling for Detroit, so keep your fingers crossed. That Aero Mexico, that would be the one I would want. I think of the most. It's just an E190, but still it'd be pretty cool to see that. Don't see anything holding for Chicago.
That's okay, if you want to just hold there, we'll put them
So I'm not sure exactly what's going on here, but I guess we'll keep an eye on it.
0012.
Dayton's actually getting a diversion, come to think of it. So, yeah, I guess we'll keep an eye on things. We'll see if anything comes in. United Express 3496 inbound from Washington Dulles, E175. And then Frontier 3232 out of Las Vegas. American 1682 out of Dallas Fort Worth as well, about 10 minutes out. So got quite the conga line circling for Detroit. Keep your fingers crossed. And get back to the comments as we're in between some flights. Weather near CAC is pretty crappy. Yeah, there's definitely some weather in the area. We'll see. Hopefully we'll be okay. Chuck Kikoff says, Dayton, got to stop by Buc-ee's on the way. Probably on the way back, to be honest. Although we may be on the way. We'll see. If it's the way it was when I went to Dayton about, what was it, 2 months ago when the Egypt 747 came in, ODOT, in their infinite wisdom, because they have to do everything at the same time, had all the rest areas closed between here and Dayton. If you take 70 or 71 and 70, so if you need a pit stop, Buc-ee's might be the place. Actually, never been to a Buc-ee's, so have to stop by that one. When I went down there last time, I'm like, hey, maybe I'll stop there on the way back, and then I didn't end up doing it. So might have to stop by down there. I know I got at least one person going with me, so we'll see what everyone wants to do. There's Star Falcon 20 inbound. That should be pretty cool to see. That I hit that Buc-ee's and it's so stupidly crazy. Does Cleveland use both runways simultaneously anymore? Have they used 2.8? Yeah, they do use both runways simultaneously. They got 2.8 left closed. They've been doing some work on the runways this summer. So it's closed right now. Lately it's been 2.4 right closed. So I'm enjoying the fact that 2.4 left is closed tonight. They do use 2.8. It just depends on the wind. So if the wind is blowing, if we have a crosswind across the field, you'll see 2.8. It is windy today, but I don't think we'll see 2.8 tonight. But hey, you never know. NASA used to use it quite a bit too because it basically ends at their hangar. But unfortunately, with the NASA planes being gone, we probably won't see that anymore. Buc-ee's is insane. All that and no Tesla chargers. Ouch. Kind of surprised by that, actually, since that's becoming more and more common. You think that'd be a pretty good stop to have a Tesla charger. Go in and hook your electric car up, get your car charged up in a half hour, 45 minutes, and go inside and go shopping at Buc-ee's. So it actually kind of surprises me that they don't have any electric chargers at Buc-ee's.
And they've had so the update they said in an hour. Did they give you a local time?
Consider buying an electric car. Maybe someday.
45 minutes from now?
I'm definitely not opposed to it. It's like one of our Frontier aircraft getting some work done.
Yeah, that will be at the 90-minute mark at least.
Dayton got the P-38 Aero and Heritage flight.
We have our eye on you. You're so close to a gate return. We'll have you back in the gate within minutes. So we will plan for the worst. And then with that,
Yeah, they're probably going to Dayton. That's That's a nice pickup for Dayton. It should be in Columbus as well, the P-38. So I'm glad to see that they're announcing more to fill in some of the holes with the jets that's not going to be able to be there. But I'm excited to see the P-38 because that would be a pretty cool setup. Can you hear ATC this time, or you're still going blind? Oh, I can hear. I hope you guys can hear him with the wind. Yeah, the Egyptian government 747-8 is down in Dayton right now. It's been down there for the last probably 2 months getting some work done at Sierra. So I'm not sure when that aircraft is going to leave. My guess is it'll probably be in the hangar for the show, so you won't see it, but hopefully we find out when that's going to leave. I'd love to catch it taking off. Looks like speaking of 747s in Dayton, it looks like the E4 is heading that way. They usually kind of rotate them between Wright-Patterson, Andrews Air Force Base, and Offutt Air Force Base out in Nebraska, where they're actually based at. I've been wanting to see one of those for a long time, and every time I go down there, no E4. Got United 737 taking the runway now. Looks like Liberty 1 is going to be in Columbus tonight. Yeah, the E4 is over Columbus. My guess is it's probably going into Wright-Patterson. Meanwhile, United 1645 taking the runway now. 737 heading to Houston. Should we do a better job filming here? I kind of feel like I've been all over the place looking at everything today. 737-800 heading to Houston. Really wish they would let that E4 do a pass at the air show. It does some. It's done the London, Ontario show the last couple of years. I don't know why they haven't had it do a couple of passes at the Dayton Air Show, maybe on its way into or leaving Wright-Pat. I don't know, down far enough that we wouldn't have to deal with that tree, but that's okay. Knight is still waiting. They're going to O'Hare and they're in the box. Sounds like that ground stop's going to go on for another hour, so they may be sitting over there for a little bit. American 1682 inbound from Dallas. Got a Falcon 2000 behind that. That looks like it's heading in. FlexJet may be heading in as well. EPS 5442 757 tonight inbound from Louisville. Still got the conga line over the lakes. A lot of aircraft holding over there, including Aero Mexico out of Monterey. It'd be really cool if we can get to see that one. A lot of aircraft are holding right now.
36 flighting 045 vector for the downwind.
It's like a couple of them are the last 757 that was built. November 823 Delta X-Ray is circling in there as well. It'd be cool if that were to come in. But I see aircraft leaving Detroit, so I don't know if anything will divert, but we'll keep our eyes on it. Yeah.
35 trapped up factor passing behind you, climb to maintain 140.
One of these days, we're going to get that E4.
Yes, 5442, trapped up factor.
I don't really see any weather in the Chicago area, so they must just be maybe dealing with capacity. Here in Cleveland, we're pretty good. We got some storms in northwestern Ohio, and there's a cell that's in the Detroit area, but so far we're doing okay as far as the weather, so hopefully it stays nice. Supposed to be rainy quite a bit of the day today, so I'm glad that we've got a lot of sun. Frontier 2698 out of Phoenix is about 15 minutes out, and then the Ameristar Falcon 20 be a cool catch for us out of Memphis, about a half hour out tonight.
135.1 tonight.
Got Alaska 216 out of Seattle. That was supposed to have been the Star Wars livery. They changed it to a regular livery this morning.
76 County.
About 25 minutes out for that, and then Southwest 862 out of Baltimore.
76 contact County South.
Got that Star Wars livery a couple of years ago on a really crappy day, so I was hoping we would have caught it today with some nice weather, but they changed it this morning. Spaghetti MD11 says, hopefully the weather isn't horrible on my first time being on a plane. I hope not. I hope we have a beautiful day to fly. Turbulence is the worst. Number 37 Max 8 out of Dallas for American tonight. Exactly, will there be a Cleveland Air Show next year? My guess is yes. We don't know anything for sure. They haven't said anything else about Burke in a while. I can't see it being canceled after this year. I feel like there'll be at least one more year. We'll see how everything goes, but I'd make plans to get out there. If you want to go see the show, get out there this year. You got the Blues and the F-22 Raptor demo. So it should be a pretty good show. Yeah, 7-3 is going to be there for a bit. It's going to Chicago, and they're at a ground stop, so feel bad for everyone on board. Someday we're going to catch it on a nice day.
I believe the gate might be cool.
Alaska and Southwest are probably the two airlines I trust the least when it comes to special liveries. So American's not very good at it either, but I feel like Alaska and Southwest are the ones that change aircraft the most. I know there's been a couple of times that aircraft, the Star Wars livery, is supposed to have been here and it ended up not coming in. It was in Columbus on Thursday if you were down there at 5 o'clock in the morning. Which I was not. Got a Falcon inbound, and it should be UPS.
I'm not too sure. He said it's in the lake area. That's a good question. I don't know. That's 20-7 Bravo contact.
I haven't seen a 747. Speaking of those here in a bit, the last one we had was Dubai 1. I think back in February is when that came in. So probably, my guess is they'll be back here at some point in the next few weeks. If not, we'll see Atlas Air for a football charter later on this year.
That question to you again. They said they don't see any non-stop nor Chicago. Do you have anything else we can pass it to them?
Everything's still circling over there for Detroit. So does look like UPS got out of the hold. So my guess is we won't get anything, but hey, you never know.
Second 1682, so you're going to hold for the gates open. Roger, I'm going to take you to Kilo Juliet 2, hold short of Juliet.
Sounds like someone is going to go back to the gate. I wonder if it's at United. On a Sherwin-Williams Falcons inbound.
547 Roger, plus your discussion, no flow into Miami this is fine.
So as the Sherwin-Williams Falcon rolls out, we got UPS flight 5442, a 757 inbound from Louisville.
Golf, full short, runway 24 right at maybe golf.
Southwest taxiing out for departure. Hello, bird.
We are not accepting arrivals from our airport at this time, so update at 30.
Okay, 30 guys, what do you think? 7 runway 24 right, clear for takeoff. Traffic about 4.5 miles, 757. Okay, clear for takeoff. Here we go. 24 right. That's my cola. 28. 24 right. GPS 6442, that's starting now. 37. Here with you. Would you rather go in soft 4 or buff? Segment 23 Central, 78 Eastern, 79 Eastern, South for Ohio Lake area, surrounding areas, more information, monitor, flight watch frequencies.
Southwest getting off the ground, waiting on UPS. The flying pencil, the 757-200. I don't know if I call the 757-200 the flying pencil, the 300 for sure. Still one of the greatest aircraft out there though, the 757s. American is the aircraft that's holding for a gate. United still holding over there.
2887 2000, climb to the degree length, Southwest 2887, clear departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 14000. Climb and maintain 14000, Southwest 28.
Liberty One was in Columbus yesterday, along with the Sun Country Retro livery. Had to go mow at my grandparents. I would have gone out there to see that, but it needed mowed for sure. We'll catch those aircraft at some point. Here's UPS.
2698.
Also had the big boy Union Pacific locomotive passing through yesterday, which is pretty cool to see.
right, start that again.
So UPS rolling out. They'll turn around and go back to their ramp. Sherwin-Williams was also going to cross the runway on their way to the hangar. Sherwin's brand new hangar over there opened up a year or so ago. We got the American Max, and then over here we have the United Max. Guardians are playing the Yankees today in downtown. Frontier 3232 should be inbound from Las Vegas, and Airbus A321neo. A320neo, I apologize, about 4 minutes out.
Ground on way 47 taxi.
American Eagle 4112 out there as well.
7 Cleveland ground, Q4 right, taxi to Juliet. Juliet 5, Lima, Sierra. Juliet 5, Lima.
Few aircraft that should be taxiing out. American Eagle 4909. It's a CRJ that's heading to Chicago. It's sitting over there next to the United. So both of them are kind of stuck right now. Got a Global 7500 that just went live over at Atlantic. So we'll keep an eye on that aircraft to see what that might be. United 1673 is the Max that's sitting over there for Chicago. American Eagle 5862 should be heading back to Philadelphia here in about a half hour or so. Southwest 1163 getting ready to push back. They'll be heading to Chicago Midway. American Eagle 4057 E175 taxiing out for Miami. American 650 to LAX should be pushing back pretty soon as well. 737 MAX 8. And a whole bunch of Frontier aircraft. Flight 1491, a A320neo for Tampa. You should see that one heading out. Looks like another one is live over there. A couple of FlexJet aircraft are live over at Constant Aviation.
5 DME inbound at about 3,000. Clear Google Books and look you for right.
Unfortunately, Aero Mexico has left the holding pattern on their way to Detroit, so we won't see them.
Right at call 562 there.
Yeah. Oh, wow. J-Rose here as well. Christian's asking, is the United plane a diverted flight or just an outbound flight? Just an outbound flight. We got a ground stop in Chicago. I'm not really sure why, though. I don't see any weather out that way. So I don't know if they just got over capacity or maybe there was just weather earlier. I'm not really sure. But at least another half hour on the ground stop. Here's UPS taxiing to their ramp. Of course, we had a big week last week. We had Egypt Air and we had a national A330 here for the Egypt versus Brazil World Cup friendly. Brazil ended up leaving on that A330. Egypt flew southwest to Spokane. So if you're going to catch one of the World Cup aircraft, make sure you catch it on the inbound, because once the teams are getting here, they seem to be flying domestic aircraft. So seeing a southwest flight to Spokane was certainly interesting, though. American Eagle heading out. E175 for Envoy on their way to Miami. Later on this year, we're going to see United on this flight.
Cleveland Tower, Convoy 47. Convoy 47, Cleveland Tower. This is all your guys on the top. I'm going to show you that, Convoy 47.
United announcing Las Vegas and Miami service starting later on this year. Yankees are up 2-0. Oh man. Here in a couple of weeks, we'll have a Velo beginning service to New Haven and Concord. I believe that starts on the 19th, if I remember right. I think that's when that starts, sometime around then. So we'll see how a Velo does. So we'll be here for that. Hopefully, I have to see what time it is, but hopefully we'll be out here for that. If I don't go back to if it is the Sunday the 19th, if I don't go to actually, what day is the 19th? Is it even a Sunday? I don't know. Losing my mind. It's a Friday. I'll be in Columbus, so I guess I won't see a Velo. I'll be down to the Columbus Air Show that day. But new airline coming to town. American Eagle holding as Frontier is inbound. It's Ruby the Reindeer inbound from Phoenix. Well, I know we joke about animals, the animal tails not being happy with the certain environments that they're sent to. Got to think that that Ruby the Reindeer probably happy to be out of Phoenix. Ruby's probably thinking you should send me to Anchorage. A320neo rolling out from Phoenix. Meanwhile, American Eagle, as the wind picks up, American Eagle on their way to Miami. See the truck in the background as they're working on runway 24 left. Hopefully they keep that side closed for us for a while. Only downside to the 24 right departures though is you got to deal with the fence. But anyone who's out at Heartland Payroll or one of the businesses on that end, getting some really nice views of the departures and probably some of the arrivals here on 24 right. Enjoy that angle quite a bit when we're down there. Knight is still waiting over there. Feel bad for the passengers and really feel bad for the flight attendants who are probably dealing with some impatient people at this point. They've been sitting over there for a little bit. Got a citation out of Milwaukee about 5 minutes out. We also have that Ameristar Falcon 20 about 6 minutes out for that out of Memphis. Alaska 216 out there as well. And we actually do have a diversion coming in. Delta Airlines Flight 1911. 737-900 out of Cancun, diverting in due to that weather in Detroit. Looks like there's actually some more weather moving into that area. There's some aircraft trying to land. But a lot of aircraft are still holding, so maybe we'll see something else come in. Nothing too crazy out there right now since the Aero Mexico went in, but maybe we'll get something, you never know. Tom is here from CMH this afternoon. Hope you're able to see the special visitor you guys had last week down there. He is here as well. Utica asking if the Southwest will probably be stuck too. That's a good question. I don't know if it's a Chicago area issue or just an O'Hare issue. So I guess we'll find out. Yeah, Breeze flies at LAX. Actually flew right over my work this morning. I heard a jet when I was walking into the office. I'm like, that's unusual to see a jet over here. And the Breeze flight was heading to Las Vegas. Out of Akron Canton Airport. There was talk about extending the runways back in the early 2000s. The plan actually was to knock the IX Center down to do it. Now the city of Cleveland and the city of Brook Park actually made a trade. So I believe Brook Park got NASA and Cleveland got the IX Center. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But the plan was to knock the IX Center down and build a longer runway. And they actually bought a bunch of houses on that side too. That has been a kind of a bone of contention for quite a while. In fact, I think they just wrapped a lawsuit up within the last few months that was going on with that. So, of course, we never got the longer runway. To be fair, we probably don't really need the longer runway, but they did do some runway changes back in those days. But right now, what we got is what we got. I mean, it's almost 24 left is almost 10,000 feet long. So both runways are over 9,000 feet. Not counting 28, which is pretty short, but yeah, none of that happened, and now who knows what's going to happen with the IX Center. Nothing like sitting on the tarmac in an aluminum tube in the hot sun. Getty said, forgot to say my flight is June 19th. Cleveland to Atlanta. Well, hope you have a great time down there. Atlanta is a very crazy airport, very busy airport. But got a lot of food down there. They do a really good job of managing the amount of people that they get. As long as there's no bad weather down there, Atlanta is a pretty neat place to check out. Backyard Plane Spotty asking, did you guys see the steam locomotive yesterday? I got a really quick glimpse of it. I had to work. I was working from home, fortunately, yesterday, but I had the little one as well. So if I didn't have him, I probably would have tried to go up to Lorraine to catch it. But because I had him, I had to wait. As my wife only worked a half day yesterday, I had to wait for her to get home. So we went up to Euclid. I got a really quick glimpse of it because we were kind of running late to get up there. But I'm hoping to catch it when it comes back. So it should be back in July. So I actually took that day off work. I'm going to go to Fremont when that comes in and probably try to chase it a little bit. As it makes the trip back through Cleveland. So I got a video to post. I'm a little bit back because it was crossing a bridge. But I don't know if I'll post it now or if I'll wait until July. And hopefully we'll get some more footage of it. We got 765 in the valley as well. If you're in the area and want to see a vintage steam locomotive, the old Berkshire is an impressive locomotive as it is for the nickel plate road. Not as big as the big boy, but it's still a very impressive locomotive if you haven't seen that. So, and that's running on the weekend. I really wish they would have coordinated something to get them together, because it would have been really neat to see 765 and 4014 together. I don't know, maybe they will in Fort Wayne or something. I'm not really sure, but it was pretty impressive to see that for sure. Alaska 216 inbound from Seattle. Then we have the vintage Dassault Falcon, the Falcon 50 out of Memphis. And then Southwest 862, a Max 8 out of Baltimore. FedEx about 15 minutes out with the 767. And that's Frontier 1491 on its way to Tampa. Two 8 is the middle child.
36 Cleveland ground,
Atlanta in the infamous plane train. It's actually not that bad. It's pretty easy considering its size. I agree. And the Delta terminal is really nice. So, flying Delta, you'll have access to the nicer terminal. More options as far as food and all that. So, Atlanta's a fun airport. Make sure when you're down there, if you want to see airplanes, go to the Delta Flight Museum while you're down there. That's a really cool museum. I think there is a fee to get in, but it's a really cool museum. And you get to walk through their 747. They have a 747-400 down there. That was actually the prototype 747-400. It was the aircraft operated by Northwest that took delivery of it, and it was involved in an incident as well. So everyone survived, and the aircraft was repaired and went into service, back into service. But you can walk through their 747 down at that museum. You can walk through a 767, the one that was purchased by Delta employees when Delta was going through their bankruptcy. So you can walk through that. They got a 757 down there. They got, I think, an MD-80 down there. And a beautifully restored DC-3 and a bunch of other stuff down there as well. So check out the Delta Flight Museum if you're down in Atlanta. Sounds like United finally got their clearance to O'Hare.
Continue taxi, Juliet 3, Luna, here, south of the Cuba.
Citation lining up for departure.
Juliet.
Citation heading out. We got a couple of departures rolling over here. Frontier to Tampa. We got Air Canada Jazz as well. Here's the Frontier.
11 Crosser, got about 3,000, cleared dispatch from way 248.
Fran to Sea Line heading to Tampa. Unlike Ruby to Reindeer, I have a feeling that Fran is very happy to be going back down to the ocean front area in Florida and all of its bays.
Cleveland Tower with 21014, that's 268 qualified. I want the departure prize arrival, make people like their
As Frontier holds short, we have the Ameristar Falcon on final. Falcon 20. I have an older jet aircraft. Don't see those too often anymore. Operating out of Memphis. Well, they were really fighting the wind. They were probably 35, 40 degree angle right before I caught them on the camera. The wind is definitely picking up down here.
781, trim up to November.
Got some weather off to the north.
Yes, make November left top.
Southwest 862 on final from Baltimore.
361 Heavy, just to maintain 7,000. Further south and with the blue hangage just north of that.
You're going to let Frontier go after Southwest with traffic on a 5-mile final. This might end up becoming pretty close by the time everything gets lined up here. Southwest, I'm sure, will get off the runway. Now, give me a second. We'll get back to our comments as we got a Frontier A320neo heading out. Frontier heading out. And this should be our diversion, Delta Flight 1911, 737, diverting in from the weather in Detroit this afternoon. Delta rolls out the Jazz E175. I think it's a flight heading back to Montreal. I could be wrong with that. I haven't had a chance to look at it a little bit. For E175. 736 heading to Toronto.
Ahead for 1673. Yeah, 1673 ground stop, so Harris canceled. How soon do you think you'll be ready? 7 minutes to get the engine going, yeah, 1673. Roger.
United 1673 got their clearance to Chicago. So they need about 7 minutes to get ready. So their time in the penalty box has nearly come to an end here. And they'll be on their way to Chicago. FedEx 361 Heavy 767 out of Memphis turning final now, about 2 minutes out. Southwest Flight 747 inbound from Las Vegas. They'll be behind the FedEx.
Something simple from your gear if you want to hold short, give it a 5. I'll find out later out of your way. Okay, we'll do with that. Thanks for
Also, might be a little too cloudy, but we're going to have a FedEx MD-11 that's going to fly overhead. We'll see if we can try to pick it up for you.
That is correct. We'll open on your time as well. How soon do you think you should be ready? We're ready now. Roger. I'll get work on that. The other blue hangar, if you make a 180 exit ramp and continue south, it's going to be a much larger hangar. That's at the very end of the
Spaghetti says, yeah, I'm going there to the Delta Museum, saving some money to hopefully buy a model. Well, good luck while you're down there. I've actually found their store to be pretty reasonable when I was down there last year. So they got a lot, if you're in the Delta, they got a lot of great stuff down there. If you really want to save up some money, they got a 737-200 simulator down there. An actual like flight training simulator that you can buy some time in. It's pretty expensive though. But it's pretty neat to check out if that's something you're into. Diane is here from Queensland, Australia. Well, welcome. Hope you're doing well today. Thank you so much for being here. Smog Media here from CMH. Sinella's here as well. Got HT 1976 and Dale here tonight. So the Southwest to Midway has pushed back. They are getting their clearance to go while this Southwest from Baltimore taxis to the gate. American 650 you see rolling out behind the two Southwest, a Max 8 that'll be heading to Los Angeles. Southwest is telling the other one to get out of their spot. FedEx on final from Memphis. Heavy 767. Also, speaking of a couple of weeks from now, we should have a B-17 Sentimental Journey and a B-25 coming in. The Arizona wing of the Commemorative Air Force sending their bombers. We should see them at Acker and Canton here in a couple of weeks. So it sounds like they'll be over by Maps Air Museum. think that's around the 23rd or so. So big couple of weeks here for aviation here in Ohio. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss it. We'll be down in Dayton on Saturday. Here's FedEx. Looks like both of our American 737s are heading out. We should have the MAX 8 to Las Vegas, or Los Angeles. You said Las Vegas. Los Angeles and the other one behind it. This should be American 650. No, that's an 800. That is not American 650. So as they roll out, Southwest is inbound.
That is 1673 ground, runway 24 right, that should be Lima Sierra, 24 left. 24 right, via Lima Sierra, 24 left, United 1673. American 1679, do you think you should take a golf there, take a next departure from there?
So we got a couple of American Airlines 737s heading out. Looks like this one is getting out of the way. That's flight 1679. That's going to be heading to Charlotte. Meanwhile, the MAX is heading to Los Angeles, flight 650 for American Airlines. The new flight they started a few weeks ago. Try to compete with United on that route.
We're not seeing any official numbers here for Golf 6 intersection, so we should be able to back that real quick. It would be a problem. Roger. 47 Cleveland ground, back to the ramp, via Lima Julia 5, crossing the 24 left. Cleveland ground, back to the ramp, via Lima Kilo Hotel, crossing at 24 left. The negative, we're still waiting for number 7.
You know, I do apologize. I thought I went far enough down to avoid that tree. Usually I go over to the other side of it when I do the live streams from here, but today with the weather, I decided just to set up a little bit closer to my car. I thought I went far enough down to get away from it. Well, here they are, United 1673, the MAX 8 that's been in the penalty box, or MAX 9 has been in the penalty box for a little while. Finally on their way to Chicago O'Hare.
Already, yeah.
The CRJ that was holding with them is behind them. So it looks like both aircraft are going to get to head out to Chicago. Looks like they got the mowers out over by 24 left, so that runway should stay closed for a little while. And United heading out. SkyWest 4909 CRJ, that's heading to Chicago. They're going to follow the Max. Both aircraft were in the penalty box for a little while, waiting for the ground stop to end.
4-5.
Southwest 747, Shuttle Juliet 4 until company passes outbound and then just continue. Shuttle Juliet 4. Yeah, 11:15, that Boudreaux cleared out last runway 2.
Got an American E-Jet taxiing out, and we have the Southwest flight that's heading over to Chicago Midway.
For now, taxi via Juliet 3 short of Lima.
A320 also taxiing out.
650 contact Lima Center 135.1 today.
The American Eagle is flight 4713. It will be heading over to LaGuardia. Southwest 1163 behind that will be heading to Midway. Delta Connection 5174 should also be heading to LaGuardia. It's a CRJ that's sitting over there in the background. United 396, another aircraft is heading to O'Hare. Airbus A320 will be taxiing out. Delta Flight 1449, Airbus A220, inbound from Minneapolis. Currently 84 degrees here on the north coast. Wind gusting to 20 knots.
Cross runway 24 left at Papa and then taxi Papa 60 Lima Juliet 5.
Look, 6 runway 24 left away. Papa 24 southwest.
American Eagle heading out, Southwest lining up for departure. Another aircraft heading to Chicago, this one heading to Midway. Southwest just a few days ago ended their service out of Chicago O'Hare, just going back to focusing on their base at Midway.
Back there, here, golf. All right. Contact by the 14000. I maintain 14000,
American 1679, they're back taxiing. Looks like they must have got their clearance over to Charlotte. United A320 will be heading to Chicago. They're waiting in the penalty box right now for their clearance. We got United 11:15 out of Newark turning final over downtown. Frontier 1492, A321 Neo out of Tampa. And Frontier 1055, I did not realize that was coming in tonight. It is one of the America Green Airlines special liveries for Frontier. Flight 1055 out of Orlando, about 10 minutes out. I did not realize that was even coming in tonight. Much from a military standpoint out flying around tonight, unfortunately.
All right, so hey guys, it looks like car 7, which is one of the city vehicles, is out there now. It looks like they're talking to somebody, so give them here just a moment for left turn while we can do that.
The Delta Airlines diversion, Flight 1911, should be heading to Detroit here pretty soon. So we'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, still running the 1500 tonight. Bet United 1673 is celebrating now. I bet they are. Hopefully they get there quickly and they don't have to taxi around for a couple of hours. Over at O'Hare. Geek Lord is here tonight. How's the stream going? Yeah, so far not too bad. I wish I would have picked up something to eat before I got up here, but not too bad. Getting some sun tonight. I think with the weather we're going to have over the next few weeks on top of the air shows, I'm going to like a glazed honey baked ham here in a couple of weeks. Doing some mowing over there. I see one of Sherwin's Falcons has pulled out. So it looks like they're going to be heading out here at some point. Holding short for the Frontier flights that are inbound. I didn't realize we're getting the special livery tonight, so it'll be pretty cool to see that. Do have some weather building in Northwest Ohio. Should be a little while before it gets here, so I'm not too worried about it. Kind of west of Cedar Point. Got some more weather moving into Detroit as well. Well, it looks like that's going to go north of the airport. I don't know if there's anything really crazy that's still coming in, but we'll keep an eye on it. United 11:15 inbound from Newark. So as the A320 gets out of their penalty box for their flight to Chicago, we'll grab the Newark flight for United. A 737-700. Delta Connection CRJ going to go ahead of the business jet. Flight 5174 will be heading to LaGuardia. Camera does not want to focus when it gets that far down. United holding short. Meanwhile, we should have one of the Frontier flights inbound. Flight 1492 and A321neo inbound from Tampa. Two Frontiers inbound. We'll have another United. Flights 2652 out of Chicago. About 15 minutes out for the 737. The United is flight 396. In case you're wanting a flight number for that. Well, Liberty One was supposed to go to Columbus tonight, and it looks like they switched it to Pittsburgh at 12:30 in the morning. Not that I'm going out at 12:30 in the morning, but par for the course for that one. I wish I would have gone down there last night, but I wanted to get some work done. I needed a mow, so we'll get it next time. Here out of Tampa. After this Frontier, we should have a special livery. I believe it's Maria the Bald Eagle. One of the America Green Airline A321neos out of Orlando should be the next flight. Not sure who's going to go first, though. What do you think, the A320 or the Falcon? Who's going to go out first? Both are holding short of 2-4 right for their clearance. I think they're going to make them wait for the Frontier. ARF is staged over on the pad right now with the diversion that came in a little bit ago. So we should see that aircraft heading out soon. Flight 1911 for Delta. We should be heading back to Detroit. Special livery inbound.
Number 849, United 396.
So as Frontier rolls out, we got our answer. They're going to let United go first. Flight 396 on their way to Chicago. They've been holding for a little bit due to the ground stop. So they're going to let the United flight go first, then they'll let the Falcon go. There's stairs over there? It's a stair truck up over there. I don't know if they're going to let them off of the Delta, or is there something coming in we don't know about? There's definitely a stair truck over there, though. So we'll keep an eye on that. Maybe there's something coming in we're not aware of tonight, or maybe they left it over there after Brazil left that was a couple of days ago. So there's a stair truck on the pad. Don't know if that means anything tonight or not. They're fueling up that Delta, so I don't think that the Delta is going to let the... Well, even then, it would go to a gate, so... Not really sure why there's a stair truck on the pad, but hey, we'll keep an eye on it. Maybe there's something coming in we're not aware of. United 396 on their way to Chicago.
United 396, contact for the safe flight.
Departure will see United 396.
It's one of Delta's stair trucks, but they get used for different things. If there's something that's coming in that's going to park on the pad, normally it's going to be like a charter flight or like a heavy, like a charter flight or like a royal flight or something like that that's sitting over there. So I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it. I'm not sure why there's a stair truck on the pad. Here's a Sherwin-Williams Falcon heading out. It's not the Yankees. They're over. Their jet is over at Burke. The FBOs have been handling the sports teams a little differently this year for the baseball charters. The Guardians charters are going over towards Atlantic, and they're getting bussed over there. So they park, there's a little parking lot over there, and they take a bus over to the aircraft. And then Jets is on the other side, on the cargo side, where they're taking those aircraft. The heavies still go on the pad, but little different situation with the baseball charters. No more NBA charters, unfortunately. So yeah, definitely curious to see why there's a stair truck on the pad. Maybe something's coming in tonight or tomorrow. I'm not sure. Frontier taxiing to the Rick, came in from Tampa a little bit ago. And as that one taxis in, we'll get a nice view of Maria the Bald Eagle in the sun tonight. American Eagle taxiing out. Looks like a Delta Connection CRJ also is getting ready to go. Southwest getting some fuel. Would love to find out that there's something crazy coming in. But again, I'm not aware of anything, so hey, we'll keep our eyes on it. United 2652 on final out of Chicago. One of the Youngstown C-130s is out there. I wish it would come in here. They've been doing a lot of touch and goes out of Akron Canton lately. So that is good to know. Geek Lore says they have to have a stair truck to have access for the passengers for emergency deplane. So that makes a lot of sense. Good call on that. And ARF has to be out there as well. So that is a good call. I completely forgot about that, and it looks like there's a truck moving over there now. So we should see that Delta heading out at some point soon. American Eagle heading to Philadelphia. That is a good call out, and I should have remembered that. I think the leaves on that tree are getting lower. So they actually moved the stair truck now. So
Juliet 4, you'll be taking Juliet 4.
And ARF is moving as well, so I wonder if they're getting close to going. Guardians have tied the Yankees. It's 2-2 downtown. I did 2652 on final. We have Frontier 4036 out of Atlanta. And American Eagle 3466 out of Chicago on inbound within the next few minutes. Fuel truck is rolling away. I bet that Delta is getting ready to go. And we're back up to Detroit. American taxiing out for departure should be the other Max 8. This one should be heading, I believe, to Detroit. In the background, I see a United. Maybe. In the background.
Right, Julie Juliet 4, Lima Sierra, cross 1 to the left.
There's the stair truck, so we must be done with the Delta. We're ready to head back to Detroit. There's a United Express E-Jet back there. American 1682 taking a runway. I believe they're heading to Dallas Fort Worth, 737 MAX 8. American in the afternoon lately has been sending A321s. So we got the flagship Valor aircraft the other day. First American Airbus special livery I've seen in Cleveland in quite a while. Hopefully they keep that up and we're able to catch some of the other ones like the PSA Retro, the Allegheny Retro, the Piedmont Retro, and the US Air Retro on the 321s. Really need to get the PSA aircraft. I haven't seen that one in a while. Last time I saw that was in Chicago when they first unveiled it. It was taxiing outside of our window and we were coming in to land. I've seen the others at different airports, but haven't caught that one yet. So hopefully they send it our way at some point. We did get the 250 livery 737 on Friday night as well. And we got the E175 with that livery. And we got the FIFA World Cup livery last week up here. I saw Allegiant unveiled an America 250 livery a couple of days ago, and I've heard that United is going to unveil one at Washington Dulles here in a few days. Almost said weeks, but I think it's sooner than that. So really curious to see what that United looks like. I hope it's not just a regular livery with a big 250 on the side, but I wouldn't be surprised. And hopefully it's on a 737 so we can catch it up here at Cleveland quite a bit. American Eagle 30 or United Express 3501 heading to Dulles. And then Delta Connection 4957 to Detroit. The CRJ that's behind the E-Jet. And it looks like the beacons are on the diverted 737 back there, so we should see that heading out as well. next time I'll just go on the other side of that tree. I thought we were far enough away from it today, but once the wind changed, it started to kind of blow in front of us, so I apologize for the tree in the way. There's a Delta Connection CRJ. Should have Aer Lingus taxiing out here pretty soon as well. Flight 9 Lima Tango getting ready to push back, A321 Neo. Southwest 792 to St. Louis. We should see that aircraft heading out soon as well. American Eagle 3466 over downtown should be the next inbound aircraft, followed by Frontier 4036 out of Atlanta. Beautiful day up here today. Hopefully the weather is like this weekend. It does look like a chance of rain this weekend. Hopefully it stays away. Be down in Dayton for the Dayton Air Show on Saturday, I believe was the day we're going to go down. May go back Monday for departure day. Depends on what all shows up for statics. Waiting for Columbus to announce their static lineup, which they should be doing this week. The Snowbirds at a fuel stop in Mansfield today, which would have been really impressive to see. We should see them in Columbus next week. The Blue Angels at the Dayton Air Show. And the Thunderbirds next week in Columbus. And then if all goes well, we should be in Baltimore the week after that for the Red Arrows, the Blue Angels, and Patrol de France, the French aerobatic team. They arrived in New York today, and then they passed over New York City and Philadelphia, which would have been really cool to see. So if all goes well, we should go to, I believe Baltimore will probably be the show we'll go to for that. Next month, we got the Thunder over Michigan Air Show up in Detroit, in the Detroit area at Willow Run Airport, and we'll see the Red Arrows up there too. Southwest.
Southwest 4153, equivalent approach, altimeter 29901.
4153 out of Midway is about 15 minutes out. United 1611 out of Newark is about 15 minutes out. American Eagle 3466 on final from Chicago.
So that's 11 Green Ground, taxi
And then about 45 minutes out is Delta 1339 from Atlanta and JetBlue 541 out of Boston. I don't know if we'll stay live that long to catch those, as we got to get home and get ready for work. But we'll do the best we can.
4967 for like that song.
Kevin Stanhope says, love the America West livery from AA. I forgot about that one. That's a really pretty livery as well. So hopefully we get some of those 321s here in Cleveland at some point. We don't get American 321s that often, but the last few days they've been sending them in the afternoon. So hopefully we'll be able to catch some more of those. It was cool seeing Flagship Valor last week. We haven't seen that one in a little bit, so it's pretty cool to see that aircraft here in Cleveland. Saw it all the time down in Dallas when we were down there, so it's cool to see it up here again. Delta 1911, Cancun to Detroit diverted in due to weather a little bit ago. They are finally cleared to go, taxiing out from the pad. American Eagle inbound from Chicago. So make sure you guys are here for that. Make sure you hit that like button. Helps out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you really like the video, hit the subscribe button. We'll be down in Dayton and Columbus doing some filming of those air shows, so you're not going to want to miss those. Then we'll be in Baltimore. We'll be at Akron Canton for the Bombers. We'll be in Detroit or Ypsilanti for the Thunder over Michigan air show. We've got the Lorraine air show coming up. We should have Fifi and Diamond Lil in town, I think, next month. All kinds of stuff going on over the next few weeks. I thought about going to DC for the flyover on the 4th, but that looks like it might be kind of a pain. But lots of stuff going on for America's 250. Oh yeah, we'll have the Union Pacific locomotive, the big boy, passing back through Cleveland in July. And we have steam in the valley this weekend if you want to see a steam locomotive running through the area. So we got lots of stuff going on over the next few weeks. Also, special thanks to AirNav for the flight tracking graphics on the screen. Make sure you check them out as well. I almost wonder if Delta's gone to the gate.
Try to relog on. If that doesn't work, I can just wait to you a little bit.
We're going to lose it behind the building here for a second, but 24 left should still be closed. Hudson is here, says I live right by Akron Canton Airport. Well, you're going to enjoy those bombers here in a couple of weeks. The B-17 and B-24 that'll be there. B-25 that'll be there. I know I'm going to be down there as much as I possibly can. The B-17 is probably my favorite aircraft, and there's only a couple still flying, so looking forward to going to Akron Canton to see that. I believe they'll be staging out of Maps Air Museum as well, so we'll walk through there. I haven't been through there in quite a while, so we'll walk through there again. Check out some of the new exhibits that's on display at Maps, including a Harrier that they have on display now and a F-104. Here's Aer Lingus, 9 Lima Tango, should be heading back to Dublin. Don't know where the 737 went. Frontier rolling out from Atlanta. Not gonna lie, I kind of forgot about Frontier. Oops. Aer Lingus 9 Lima Tango lining up for departure, heading over to Dublin. A321neo.
Let's contact now.
United 1611 should be the next inbound flight, followed by Southwest 4153.
Okay, yeah, do that set of fine. There's a pressure pushing up your left and a pressure coming back off your right. Pressure push line 2, are you waiting for Alpha 10 there? I'll wait for Alpha 2 then we'll push after Alpha 10. Alright, Delta 11 yet, see on Juliet behind that. Let's see, too much longer.
Southwest pushing back from their gate and over on the by the Alpha concourse. We have a mess. We have 3 Frontier aircraft that are kind of parked over there waiting for their gates. Hoping that Global over there would depart while we were live. It's been live the whole time over at Atlantic. Southwest 792 should be heading to St. Louis. Yeah, it looks like that's where they took the Delta. The Delta's over by the Frontiers as well.
Make a left turn on Lima, and then skip away to Southwest, head to your left, back to the Juliet 5, or Juliet 5, and then Juliet. Alright, give way to Southwest, we'll take Lima, Juliet 5, Juliet, Frontier 4036.
So Aer Lingus heads out. Looks like one of the Frontiers might have got moved.
Alpha 12, Frontier 4036.
We got a bit of a mess over there. The one is getting some maintenance done. We have this Frontier, we have this Frontier, we have the one that's taxiing in. And then that's where they said Delta, so there's the Delta diversion.
Show now in same movement of Archer, radar contact, climb making 10,000.
So definitely an odd spot to see a Delta 737. Southwest 792 about to take the runway, heading to St. Louis.
Set quadrant, missile quadrant, and close runway 24 left. Side midfield, close runway 24 left. Sorry. 4 right, with takeoff with 2 up there on 1 2. 2 right, then takeoff southwest 792. That's 782, that's south on 737. Southwest.
Looking a little bit closer to us, I see one of the UPS 757s is pushing back. Looks like they're pushing back a little early for their flight back to Louisville. So we'll pick that up tonight before we wrap things up for the evening. Here's the UPS 75. So we'll see that 757 head out tonight before we head out. I did 1611, less than a minute out. Got quite the Frontier family picture going on over there ramp. I kind of wish I would have brought my other camera to get a photo of it. It's pretty wild to see them all kind of stacked up side by side in front of the hangar. Here's the United. Got them all over there. Busy night for the crew over for Frontier. I think Prime Flight handles them, if I remember right. Busy night over there, and you see the crane in the background. That is for the new stadium.
49-57-11-300.
As work is beginning over the last few weeks for the new stadium. There's some construction equipment over that's parked here at Hopkins Airport as well for the terminal modernization project that's about to begin.
Taxi, starting to be a Lima Kilo. 347 Whiskey Taxi.
I think it's Prime Flight. It was Swissport.
Runway 24 right.
They ended up losing that contract. I think it's Prime Flight that handles Frontier now.
Taxi Lima Juliet 5. Let me know when you need to go back to the gate.
UPS is taxiing now. So we'll pick that up here in a second. It should be flight 1448, 757-200 on their way to Louisville, Kentucky, the UPS Worldport. Polar Bear says, I think Frontier is a focus, or Cleveland is a focus city for Frontier. And yeah, for sure, it's a crew base for Frontier. They opened up a couple of years ago now. So we have a maintenance base, a pilot base, and a flight attendant base here. And we've had quite a bit of growth. I think I saw online where I think it's now the 7th busiest Frontier station. So Frontier has grown quite a bit here since they opened up the crew base a few years ago. Really took advantage of the de-hubbing that happened when the United Continental merger went through. For a while, there was a pretty big battle between Frontier and Spirit for Cleveland, but Frontier ended up winning that one. Around the time they opened up the base, Frontier really expanded here, and Spirit began to go through their financial issues and began pulling back. And at the end, it was just the Fort Lauderdale flight for Spirit. They had Nashville, I believe Orlando, if I remember right, Myrtle Beach. I think they even had an LAX flight on Spirit at one point, if I remember. They actually suspended service here a couple of weeks before they shut down. UPS on their way to Louisville.
terminated. Change your visor, big two approved. Flight 1821 to the Tower Roger, be 30 seconds till recovery. I would think that's not going to be an issue for you then. I just
Sorry about the tree again. We'll go to a different spot next time.
I don't know the time frame yet. 1447, contact flight. Which departure get 1447 today?
So UPS heads to Louisville. We have another Frontier A321 holding short.
21, 1210 at 10 and a 2 for West with the takeoff. Contact service for the departing bird for 57.
Looks like our next inbound flight will be Jazz 735 out of Toronto. That's about 25 minutes out. Royal the Harpy Eagle on Frontier 1821 as they head over to Las Vegas.
4957, turn left heading 180. Out of curiosity, are you able to do present position holding? And about it this week.
So Frontier's heading out. Delta 1911, the diversion flight. I think now they might be ready to go. Maybe they parked over in front of Constant for a little bit. It's like Vice 46, a Black Hawk out of Rickenbacker heading north. I don't know if it's going to come in or not. Looks like it's heading more towards Burke. Trying to see if anything else from a military standpoint is out there, but really not much tonight. I was hoping we would see something going to at least go into the refueling pattern tonight, but pretty quiet night. Actually got another diversion coming in. Good catch on that for Geek Lord. Delta 894 diverting in. Another aircraft that was going to Detroit. Looks like we got a bunch of stuff holding for DTW again. More weather in the Detroit area might spell bad news for 1911. I wouldn't think it's enough sending him to the gate at this point. It diverted in from Cancun. Lots of aircraft circling. We got 1407 out of Raleigh, Durham. That's circling. 2559, an A321, 1243, a 757 300. That'd be cool if that one were to come in. A couple of CRJs, several CRJs in there. 2994 out of Jacksonville, an A320. 1621 out of Norfolk, Virginia, a 717. 2814 out of Windsor Locks, another 717. 1432 and A321. These are all Delta flights that are holding for Detroit. There's WestJet 1582 out of Vancouver. That'd probably be the coolest one if you're looking for something a little bit different, since it's mostly Delta flights that are holding and no heavies right now. All the inbound heavies have already landed out of Detroit. But definitely a decent amount of traffic that's holding. So we'll see if any of those aircraft find their way here. I'd take a 757 or an A321 tonight, or a 717. And all the heavies have landed for the day up there. Although the weather that was in that area has kind of moved to the northwest or northeast, so I don't know if anything will actually divert in, anything else will really divert in from Detroit. It is kind of on the approach corridor, so we'll see if anything else happens to come in. No weather really in Chicago. So we'll stay live a little bit longer to see if we get any more diversions.
System drawings out of aircraft 289, repositioning from Charlie 22, company hangar. Hangar number, proceed via hotel. Triple City Hotel. One contact, please, Lieutenant 135.1.
So it looks like, I can't tell if it's actually going to Alpha 14. Now it's on the other side, maybe. But it does look like Delta's going to a gate. So I think that crew must be timing out, and they must be spending the night.
94 to left heading 055.
After their diversion from Cancun to Detroit a little bit ago. A couple of Southwest aircraft sitting over there waiting to push back. Delta 1449, the A220 has pushed back. We should see that taxiing out here pretty soon. Delta 894 are diverting 737. Looks like they still need to lose some altitude. They're still at 13,000 feet. The CRJ, by the way, we had a CRJ depart for Detroit about 25 minutes ago. It literally went up and it's holding around Lorraine. So they literally took off and are holding, and they actually may be heading back. Says we need some heavies to divert. I agree. We just haven't timed it right with the weather yet. For Detroit, especially Detroit's our most likely airport to get a heavy diversion. I feel like it seems like the ones for Chicago have typically been going to Detroit or Indy. Occasionally we'll get one out of New York or DC, but the last couple of years, they've really pushed back on the diversions. I don't know if ops is kind of requesting us not to get the diversions as much as we used to, or not. I'm not 100% sure, but I know we haven't got the diversions the last couple of years that we used to get. It seems like a lot of those aircraft have been going to Pittsburgh, but probably a little too late to get any heavies out of Detroit unless we were to get some crazy weather up in like Toronto or something like that, but which I don't think that's going to happen tonight, but I'll take that Asiana A380 that's over the lake though. But yeah, we could definitely use a heavy diversion. It's been a little bit. We had the United 777 a few weeks ago. Yeah, we may see a couple more Delta diversions, as Geek Lore said. So keep your fingers crossed. 7.5 is going to be the biggest aircraft that we would probably get tonight. There's still a bunch circling though. I see Delta Connection 3877 is exiting the holding pattern. I don't know if it's coming, if it's going in the land or if it is actually going to divert. So we'll keep an eye on that. We got a 757 holding. I would love for that one to come in. 757-300. Delta 1262 is holding down by Mansfield. WestJet's holding up by Flint, Michigan. That would be the coolest one. I don't think we're going to see that though. But our diverting flight for sure, flight 894 over Euclid, about to turn toward the west, pass over downtown on their way in. Air Canada Jazz 735, about 8 minutes out. E175 from Toronto. And then Delta 1339 out of Atlanta. For us, as far as a weather standpoint, got some storms passing between Toledo and Cedar Point. Still up in Northwest Ohio, so we're still doing okay here. There is more weather in the Detroit area, so again, we'll keep an eye on that. Delta 1449 taxiing out for departure. We'll pick it up here in a second when it gets behind the building. It's an A220 that's heading to Minneapolis. And United 1084 will be heading to Newark. That looks like that's going to be our next departing flight. Blackhawk hit, landed at Akron Canton. Darn. Last year we had one do a flyby. It had the one with the Ohio State logo on it. It was pretty cool to see that. Slow night from a military standpoint, though. I was hoping that something will at least go up in the pattern.
I tried calling Cleveland Center in Detroit to see if I could get some kind of time frame, but they're not answering. I think they're pretty busy right now. Up at the departures, Friday arrival, runway 24 right, clear the land, wind 2009er.
United heading to Newark.
Cleveland Tower, wind 2009er, runway 24 right, clear for takeoff. All right, clear for takeoff, United 1084.
So as United heads out, Delta 1449 taxiing over, the A220 on their way back to Minneapolis.
1449, clear the tower, you gonna be ready? 1449, Roger, on a 24 right clear for takeoff. Traffic is company 4.5 mile final. 24 right clear for takeoff, keep on all those points right now. Just 1084.
So as one Delta flight heads out, we should have our diversion inbound. I believe it was flight 894, if I remember right. I have to go back and check to see where the inbound was from. That's another diversion out of Detroit. Delta rolls out, second diversion of the night. Both 737s. I see the other one is parked over at the gate. Hanging out with Frontier over at on the Alpha Concourse tonight for the Delta. Flight 894 took off from New Orleans, was diverting out of Detroit. Air Canada Jazz 735 on final, E175 out of Toronto. Still a lot of aircraft holding. Looks like a few aircraft are starting to divert. 1432, a A321 is diverting to Columbus. 2814, a 717 is diverting to Columbus. 4894, I guess I took off, never mind, ignore me on that one. Our CRJ that departed from here now 38 minutes ago, still in a holding pattern over, looks like Wakeman, Ohio. If that diverts to Columbus, I'm gonna laugh, but we'll see what happens there. 2822, a lot of aircraft heading south, makes you think they're going to Columbus. 717. 25.
Juliet, 6, Lima, Sierra, cross 1 for that. Juliet, 6, Lima, Sierra, cross 1 for that.
Bear with me for 1 second, looks like we lost signal. Sorry about that. Not sure why the hotspot dropped off for a second, but we should be good to go now. But again, a lot of those aircraft are heading south. Makes you think they're all going to Columbus. We do have a Delta inbound flight out of Atlanta. Keep an eye on those inbound flights. It looks like they're sending a lot of them to Columbus, though. Ruby to Reindeer heading back out.
3466, clear to O'Hare Airport. The at 41 departure, the Papa Foxtrot, where they hit one. Then Patrick transition with Papa Alpha Tango Romeo Charlie. Next is Ron, which is Romeo Oscar November Sierra, Q436. Then next is K's, which is Kilo Alpha Yankee Sierra.
Zach is here tonight. Great stream, keep it up. Thank you so much. Again, I apologize for the little blip we had there. I don't know why the hotspot dropped out, but hopefully we're good to go now. Cinders is asking, why are planes diverting? We got some thunderstorms in the Detroit area right now. So we're just listening to that. Glenn is asking, am I listening to the Tracon or just Hopkins? I'm just listening to Hopkins right now. Yeah, we got several aircraft diverting to Columbus. Add 2559 to that for Columbus at A320. We still have the 757 out there. And we'll watch 4957 as well, the aircraft that took off from here. So Karen's asking, why are they all getting sent to Columbus? I wonder if our airport ops, or Delta's managers over there may be sending them away, because they're probably getting pretty saturated now. We got another Delta flight inbound, a regular Delta flight from Atlanta. Plus they're already handling 2 diversions, so they might be getting pretty saturated over there. I'm gonna change the battery in the scanner here in a minute. Frontier taxiing out. I actually forgot where they're heading, so let me take a look at that. It's 2697. They're sending poor Ruby back to Phoenix. Ruby to Reindeer came in from Phoenix earlier this afternoon. They're sending her back. Not to somewhere nice and cool where Reindeer wants to go. Or me either. I love Phoenix, but not in June. Maybe in January. Or March for spring training. That'd be a lot of fun too. Frontier heading out. There's our other diversion. Wow, even Dayton's getting a couple of diversions. 717 flight 2822 is diverting into Dayton. Delta 1339 inbound from Atlanta. I think once that lands, we'll get the scanner switched back over. There was a bunch of diversions going on out of Detroit, and they sent, oh, I forget who it was. It might have been Turkish. It was an international heavy jet.
2697, good rate through 5,000 for traffic.
And they sent it to Dayton. Originally, they sent it to Dayton. It flew to Dayton, it descended, it got to a low altitude, passed over the airport at only a couple thousand feet. And then they sent it to, I think maybe Indy? Maybe Cincinnati. But either way, it was the funniest thing. It's like, wow, they decided at the last minute not to go to Dayton. But it was an international heavy jet. It was the funniest thing. And I remember we were up here going, you've got to be kidding me, because we were hoping it would come in here. But it wasn't to be. But the diversions going to Dayton makes me laugh a little bit. And I did 2398, 737 MAX 9. Passing over downtown, inbound from Newark. One of the 7.5 is going to Columbus as well. Looks like it's following the A321 ahead of it. So if you're down in Columbus right now, you guys are getting a lot of diversions. So maybe you'll see something cool while you're down there. Watch it at 7.5. I think that might be heading to Columbus as well. 4957, our CRJ departed 48 minutes ago for a 22-minute flight. It's still circling over the lake. Got a feel for those guys. But there are some flights actually going into Detroit now that we're holding, so some of those might be turning around and going over that way. So it looks like no dice for us to get anything else cool. USARL is asking, favorite airline? My favorite airline. Well, that's a tough one. I mean, historically, it's Pan Am, for sure. Seeing a Pan Am 757 last year, I know it was Iceland Air, but seeing a Pan Am livery last year in New York was one of my all-time favorite catches. Favorite airline to fly? I don't know. Probably United. But I enjoy American as well. I really like Spirit when Spirit was still around. I mean, they were really good for a cheap day trip to Florida. Frontier, I guess, kind of scratches that itch, but Frontier is, the service on Frontier, I don't think is quite at the same level as Spirit. At least Spirit had Wi-Fi. But I don't know. I mean, probably the fly on, probably United. Delta's great too. As a kid, I always loved American. I love that old livery on American. So I don't know. I kind of go back and forth, I guess. But historically, definitely Pan Am. Geek Lord says, I was here when the Turkish diverted in that we had and the Polish lot diversion that we had. I remember the Polish lot. That was cool. I was out of town when Turkish diverted in and it was killing me. We had a stretch where every time I was out of town, something came in. Yeah, I think we had SAS last year as well, if I remember. But yeah, I remember that'd be pretty cool to see those. We also had the Delta 350 and 330 come in, fuel both of them when I worked for the fueling company. That would be pretty cool to get those aircraft fueled up. Did you get to fuel up either the Dubai 747 or like Air Force One or something like that when those were here? Tom says, listening to Columbus approach down here and it's very busy. Yeah, you guys are getting all the cool stuff. It looks like stuff is starting to go back to Detroit. I see the A321 that was supposed to go to Columbus. It looks like it turned back to the north, so I think it's going into Detroit. So it looks like that cell that was causing some problems up there is starting to move out. United. I think by far, though, going back to the airline question, I think Delta's the best airline for sure. So Delta's probably the best to fly. I've flown United more just because United is usually going where I want to go. But you know, if you're going to Atlanta, Delta's definitely the way to go. American Eagle lining up. Watching our weather kind of still around the Cedar Point area. So anyone at Cedar Point tonight is getting wet. As far as we're concerned, just trying to see if we have any inbound flights. Now, it looks like things are pretty quiet for us. We have Southwest 349, that's about 25 minutes out, and JetBlue is about 37 minutes out. So unfortunately, we're probably about done with our inbound flights tonight. American Eagle 3466 holding short for Detroit, or for Chicago. So this might be the last aircraft for the night. We gotta get ready to head home and get some dinner, get the little one to bed, and get ready to work tomorrow. I gotta take him to daycare as well, so. Got a lot of stuff we need to do tonight, get everything packed and ready to go for tomorrow. Tomorrow night, depending on what the weather does, I may do another live stream after work. We'll see how things go, also see what's coming in. So stay tuned for that. Probably do one for sure Friday night. If I don't go to the valley to try to get some video of 765 as it runs through the valley, the nickel plate locomotive that's running through there. May go to Dayton as well. We'll have to wait and see. Saturday we'll be at the Dayton Air Show, weather depending. Again, as I was saying earlier, if you're thinking about going to that show, I think it's $45 for a ticket to get in, and that includes parking. But for I think it's $55, you can get both days, including parking, which is pretty cool. So if you want to go both days, check out that America 250 deal. But we'll be at the Dayton Air Show this weekend. Got a lot of great stuff going on down there. We did lose some of the fighters, but the P-38 was announced today. We got the Blue Angels. We got Tora, F-22 Raptor down there. So it should still be a pretty good show. So looking forward to that this week, and then next weekend we'll be down in Columbus for the Columbus Air Show with the Snowbirds, the Thunderbirds, the P-38, possibly the F-4. They do got it flying, so we'll see if it does show up. Got a lot of Warbirds down there for that show, so we got a lot of great stuff the next 2 weeks. 3 weeks from now, if things go well, we should be in Baltimore for Sail 250, which will have the Blue Angels, the Red Arrows, and the Patrol de France, the French aerobatic team. May go to a different show with the French team. We'll keep an eye on that if another show looks like a better option. But that's kind of what we're looking at for now. Next month we'll be at Thunder over Michigan with the Red Arrows. We'll also be at Akron-Canton Airport in a couple of weeks when they get the commemorative Air Force's B-17 and B-25. And then in Mansfield next month, they should get the B-29 Fifi, so we're looking forward to catching that one. We got Discover Aviation Lorraine coming up next month as well. So I think we have an air show almost every weekend for the next 2 months. And then once we get into August, we have the Props and Pistons Festival at Akron-Fulton Airport, which is going to have the C-17 as well as the F-16 Viper demo team will be at the Akron-Fulton Airport for that air show. That should be really cool to see up close. And then Labor Day weekend here in Cleveland for the Cleveland National Air Show. So we have a lot going on over the next few weeks, so make sure if you haven't done so already, hit that like button. And if you really like it, hit that subscribe button as well. And oh yeah, we'll have the Union Pacific Big Boy coming back through next month, so looking forward to trying to catch that one. So lots of stuff going on over the next few weeks. Hope that you guys are here to catch it. And we'll also keep an eye on that Egyptian 747 that's down in Dayton. We'll keep an eye on any of our Royal flights to see if anything comes in up here as well. So lots of stuff going on. Looking forward to bringing all that to you over the next few weeks. Also, make sure if you haven't done so already, follow me on Instagram. I'm at Nick Flies Media. I'm also on Facebook at Nick Flies Media. On Instagram is where I post a lot of photos and videos. And if we find out anything's coming in, I'll post a link on there if I find out something's coming in, like the Egyptian A350 we had a couple of weeks ago. So make sure you're on there as well. Check out the merchandise store. The link is in the description if you're interested in anything like that. I got some hats and t-shirts on there. All that goes to helping pay for some of the trips and some of the other things. If things ever got to the point where it was really big, I'd love to do a scholarship, but we're nowhere near there at this point. But thank you guys all so much for your support. If you've been here since the beginning, thank you so much. If you're new, welcome. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Hope you enjoyed the channel. Check out some of the other videos as well. Robert says, hey, Mr. Nick, old forgetting Robert here. Heavy aircraft do have gates instead of regular stairs, right? I'm sure I was boarding a United DC-10 when I was a kid. They do have gates. It's unusual to see one at a gate, but we do have gates for heavy jets here. Every now and then you'll see the Dubai Airwing 747 parked over at the gate. And that is pretty wild to see. They took the Egyptian A350 to the gate, actually, when that came in a couple of weeks ago. American Eagle heading out. Also, don't forget to check out AirNav if you're interested in the flight tracking. If you're interested in doing that. One of my favorite pastimes is to get on and watch aircraft. I died a little bit inside this morning with the Canadian Snowbirds doing a fuel stop in Mansfield. That was painful to watch when you're sitting in your chair at the office. But I am looking forward to seeing them next weekend down in Columbus.
466
And then later on this year, I'm hoping to go to the Houston Air Show as well. We'll see what all they announce as far as flying demos. I know the NASA Freedom 250 team will be there. So lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff going on.
Cover me, 14,000. 14,000, boy. 3466.
But we're going to go ahead and wrap it up tonight from Cleveland Hopkins International Airport. Hope you enjoyed the stream. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button down below. Thank you all so much for the comments tonight. Follow me on Instagram at Nick Flies Media as well. Maybe we'll see you again tomorrow night, so make sure you're here for that. Or Friday night, we'll see what the weather does. We'll do another live stream over the next couple of days. And then we'll be in Columbus or Dayton for the air show this weekend, so we'll have some video for you for that one. But hope you guys stay safe, stay healthy, enjoy the beautiful weather we're having today. And we'll catch you next time from Cleveland Hopkins International Airport.